I'm back with another recap. As you can see, I've already started doing my makeup. I am getting ready to go to church. This is probably going to be my last Sunday service before I have my baby. And so I wanted to take some pictures today because honestly, otherwise I probably would have just stayed barefaced because my skin has been clear throughout my entire pregnancy, y'all. Like, this is the best my skin has ever been. I don't know what it is about the pregnancy hormones that have just regulated what needs to be regulated, but baby boy has done me so well. And so yes, my skin has been chef's kiss, but I am gonna throw on a little beat, you know, just a neutral look, some brown eyeshadow. I'll probably do a nude lip color as well, simply because my braids are colored. So, you know, I don't really want to steal the shine of the color number 350 braids. Today, as I finish beating my face, I am going to recap my third trimester experience. Y'all, when I hit my third trimester, I didn't even realize I had hit it yet. And then I Googled when it started and I was like, oh my God, that's like now. I think it was like week 27 or 28 when it began. And I definitely noticed that I was feeling heavier. So as I mentioned in my last recap, the second trimester is kind of the sweet spot of pregnancy. It's kind of when your worst symptoms from your first trimester have faded or like they've been relieved and you have a boost of energy and all those things. And even though you're showing in your second trimester, you're not big yet, you know? So you don't really feel all of that weight yet. But y'all, by the third trimester, I thought that I was having to use the bathroom more frequently in my second trimester, but my third trimester was like, oh, this is different. I mean, the first time that I was really having to get up in the middle of the night multiple times just to go use the bathroom. And you would think that once you know, pee before you go to bed or maybe go once in the middle of the night. No, y'all. I have been using the bathroom like at least 3 times in the middle of the night, and it'll, you know, it just wakes you up. Like, even though gravity is not really pulling the baby down on your bladder because you're not upright, you're not standing up, you will still feel it laying down in that bed, and you will have to get up and relieve yourself. And so that has been my experience. Also, at 30 weeks, I went to Houston with my husband for my birthday, and we did my maternity shoot out there. I was like, we could just have, you know, a weekend where we eat good, hang out, stay in a nice hotel, and I turned 30. So, you know, I did my best to have a good pregnant time. But y'all, I caught myself trying to walk around that mall, and then I called my husband because he was about to park. I said, it's okay. You don't have to walk around. I'm coming back out, because that's how heavy I felt walking. And the more or the longer I was on my feet, the more I felt like I had to use the bathroom. And so I've been avoiding having me walking around anywhere, because it's gonna make me feel like I have to pee, and who wants to have to keep going to the bathroom? So that was pretty much my last hoorah. Like, as far as a vacation, I went a few places in my second trimester, but Houston was like the only place I went in my third trimester. And there were a couple of other trips we did, but they weren't like full-blown vacations, you know? Like, we went to Tampa, Florida for Kirk Franklin's reunion tour with Ty Tribbett and the Clark sisters and Israel Houghton. We went to a wedding. So we went to Orlando for a wedding. My husband was a groomsman in the wedding, so it wasn't so much a vacation. I didn't have to walk around, you know, being at a wedding. That's probably the longest I've ever been seated at a reception, y'all. You know, when everybody was up dancing, I was sitting down having a good time watching them, because I was just like, I can't do it. Not at this juncture, you know? So at this point, I am 39 weeks pregnant, which means my due date is only 1 week away. My baby is technically considered full term now, so he can come at any time, have him at any moment, but I have not experienced any contractions. And they say that in your third trimester is when you start to experience Braxton Hicks and experience contractions. Now, I used to think they were the same thing, and then I learned that they are not. And Braxton Hicks are typically like a tightening in your stomach, but it's not painful. When you have contractions, you're gonna feel some pain, from what I've been told. And I say from what I've been told because even at 39 weeks pregnant, I have not had any contractions yet. And when I've gone to the doctor, pretty much all of my appointments since my third trimester began, or maybe since 30 weeks began, they ask me if I've had any contractions or Braxton Hicks. And at first, I didn't even know that what I was feeling was Braxton Hicks. I was feeling the tightening, and I thought that was the baby just deciding that he wanted to ball up in a certain area of my stomach. But then I learned what Braxton Hicks are supposed to feel like. And so then I was like, oh, that's what this is. And so I don't know when they're going to come. I'm kind of bracing myself for it because, of course, there's pain involved. But I have really just kind of been coasting as far as pain is concerned. I still have other pregnancy symptoms like heartburn, and I told y'all how heartburn started in my second trimester. But when I tell you that thing kicked up a notch in my third, I have had heartburn that has woken me up out of my sleep. And there is nothing like that. I will be sound asleep and then all of a sudden I just feel it rising. And I'm like, oh my God. There was a point where I had to literally sit up and prop myself up against the headboard with a pillow because laying down was just making it so much worse. My liquid liner is not in front of me, so I'm gonna try to make this work with a shadow. I got like 15 minutes to finish this, y'all. But yeah, in addition to my heartburn increasing, my pelvic pressure also increased. And that was not fun. I already talked about in my second trimester recap how rolling over in bed, getting up from the couch, all of that gets harder in your third trimester because you're bigger. You have more weight to carry. And so I have done my best to stay off of my feet. I did end up wearing a waist belt, or it's like a belly band belt situation that I got on Amazon that is supposed to help kind of relieve that pressure that's on your pelvis by lifting you up to an extent. Honestly, I don't really feel like it does that much, which is why I didn't really wear it consistently, because when I didn't feel like it made much of a difference. And on top of that, after a while, it would get uncomfortable, like after a couple of hours of having it on. And so I just did my best to not have to be on my feet for an extended period or walking around for a long time. Something that also crept up on me in my third trimester was hemorrhoids. And I always heard about hemorrhoids, but I never really knew what they were. Like I was familiar with the word, but I didn't know where they were. I didn't know what that meant. And one day I noticed it when I was using the bathroom, and I told my husband, and he was like, well, are you bleeding? I'm like, no, I'm not bleeding, but it's definitely swollen down there. And so I have since purchased a sitz bath. I didn't even know what that was until I started looking up how you treat/relieve hemorrhoids. I got some Preparation H cream, and they say that it's a result of constipation, and the constipation comes from being dehydrated. And sometimes, as much as you try to regulate your hydration levels, the baby is taking your water, like not only do they need to swim around in amniotic fluid, and then you also have extra fluid in your abdominal area, but your hydration needs increase in your third trimester. They increase in pregnancy period, but then they go up again when you get in your third trimester. And so I have tried my best to stay on top of drinking water all day long, even beyond like being intentional about drinking water. You really are thirsty when you're pregnant, very, very thirsty all the time. And so I keep my tumbler full of water all day long, no matter where I'm going. I bring it with me, but something about this last leg of pregnancy is like, no matter how much water I drink, clearly it's not enough because I'm still constipated. They also say that you should increase your fiber intake to help with that. So I have some like powdered fiber supplements that I could like mix up in a smoothie. I haven't done it yet. At this point, I only got 1 week left, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that has not been fun. That's actually been uncomfortable. And they say that the increased pelvic pressure, in addition to like the dehydration that can contribute to constipation, is what can cause hemorrhoids. And so I bought this donut pillow on Amazon, and it's pretty much a pillow where the only part that you're actually sitting on is your thighs are seated, but where your tailbone is, it's not pressing down on anything. So your thighs are essentially what's holding you up, and that's supposed to help with relieving some of the pressure. So I'm just hoping that it goes away at this point, because nobody talked about this. Nobody talked about this part when they talked about being pregnant and what comes with being pregnant. They also say that in your third trimester, your blood pressure can increase. But my blood pressure has remained normal throughout my pregnancy, which I'm very grateful for. I think when I went to the doctor at my 38-week appointment, it was like 120 over 74, 120 over 80 is like the normal rate. So I was like, oh, wow, I'm doing really good to be this far along. And they say that signs of high blood pressure include swelling, like inflammation in your hands and your feet. And I have not been swollen at all. And I thought that was an inevitable part of pregnancy, because, you know, I've always seen like pregnant women have swollen ankles, even if they didn't have swollen hands. But no, my feet have remained the same, you know, besides the pain that I was talking about in my second trimester recap. Sometimes they feel weak, but they haven't been swollen. So that's a blessing. Something else that kicked up was my fatigue. And I thought that once I got through the first trimester, that was like the most tired I was gonna be. But honey, after that second trimester boost of energy, you definitely come back down and go back to being tired all the time. And y'all, I have felt like I have needed a nap every single day in the middle of the day. And you know, I'll be so ambitious with my to-do list and all of the things that I'm gonna get done, especially like after work. Well, after work, I'm gonna do this, or even on the weekend, I'm gonna do this. But by the time it actually comes time to do it, the energy has just left me, y'all. It's left me. And so I've done my best to give myself grace in that area and remind myself that I am pregnant and it's not my fault, because there's somebody sucking my life force. If y'all watch Star Wars, y'all will get that reference. But you know, I'm also reminding myself that this is temporary. Even with the hemorrhoids, and Jesus' name is temporary. And I'm like, I'm in the last final stretch. You know, I'm in the final stretch of this pregnancy. And so overall, I have a lot to be grateful for as far as how it has impacted how I have felt. Now, let me tell y'all this. I went my entire first and second trimester with no stretch marks. Third trimester shows up, boom, stretch marks. I thought I made it out. I was like, I might be one of those people, one of those pregnant women who don't get stretch marks. And God didn't have it for me, y'all. He didn't have it for me. And what sucks about this is that I bought bio oil in the beginning of my pregnancy. Like, that was one of the first things I bought when I found out I was pregnant. But I didn't feel like I needed to start using it yet. I should have read the packaging, because I think it says at the beginning of your second trimester is when you should start applying it twice a day. And it's supposed to help either reduce or prevent the appearance of stretch marks. Y'all, I got to my third trimester, and one day I went to the bathroom, and when I got up and looked in the mirror, I noticed them under my belly. It wasn't even on top, so, you know, looking straight ahead, you wouldn't see it. But I noticed some things creeping up under my belly, and I was like, no. They came for me, y'all. But honestly, I'm reminding myself that as long as I have a healthy, happy baby to show for what my body went through in the end, that's truly all that matters, because it's still a blessing to be able to carry and bring forth life. So I'm trying not to get stuck in, you know, the aesthetics, or not necessarily shallow, because it's okay to care what you look like, but the surface level things. Like, I'm trying to focus on what really matters. And what really matters is me having a healthy baby this week. So as long as he comes out with all 10 fingers and all 10 toes, 2 eyes with lungs where he can breathe on his own, then I will have no complaints. Now, I have still been applying the bio oil just to try to reduce, I guess, like the continuation of the stretch marks. But honestly, even after I started applying it, y'all, I still got new ones. They still been coming. They still been creeping up. They done stretched from my hips to my stomach and met together. But like I said, I'm just trying not to focus on it, trying to keep my eye on the prize. And when I have the baby, I will continue to use it to see if that can help with, the healing process and hopefully lighten them up some. I've seen people talk about cocoa butter. I did buy cocoa butter too. I just haven't started using it. Somebody told me cocoa butter don't work, but clearly the bio oil ain't really working either. I have gained weight throughout my entire pregnancy. I think at this point it's kind of regulated to be what it's gonna be. They do say, I think in the last 4 weeks or something like that, the baby gains like a half a pound a week. And when I had my growth scan at the doctor's office, they said that the baby was measuring at 8 pounds when I was 37 weeks. So we'll see if he lives up to their prediction when he comes out. I've seen a lot of people say that like whatever was predicted, the baby was actually a couple of pounds less. So he could be less than 8 pounds. He could be more than 8 pounds. In the third trimester, the baby's movements get stronger. And so his kicks and his rolls and wiggles, all of that has felt stronger than in my second trimester, which is exciting because you can literally, or I can literally put my hand up to my stomach or on my stomach and really feel him moving around. And there have been times where I feel like I'm feeling his knuckles or his hands rub against the backside of my belly, and it's just so sweet. My son was actually breech for a long time. When I say a long time, I mean like from the ultrasound I got with maternal fetal medicine in my second trimester to like my 34 or 35 week appointment. I think it might have been my 35 week appointment. No, I think it was my 34 week appointment. He was breech, and they were saying they typically don't worry about it until you are 36 weeks. And then at that point, they might start talking about scheduling a C-section. But I looked at my stomach and I told my son, I said, I'm your mother. And the Bible says that you have to obey me. So I'm telling you to turn around, and I need you to turn around. And of course, Randall was talking to him. My husband was talking to him while he was And of course, my husband was talking to him in my stomach, telling him the same thing. And by the time I had my 36-week appointment, they did the ultrasound and they saw that he had turned around. So I was like, oh my God, he listened to us. He listened to us and the Lord had his way. Amen. So baby is head down. And at this point, it's really just a matter of time for when he decides to come. I'm not sure if he'll come on his due date, after his due date, before his due date, but because I haven't felt any contractions and I'm already 39 weeks, I'm just kind of waiting to see what the week is going to hold. And this is Sunday, so it's the beginning of the week, and my due date is on Saturday. Some of our friends came over and helped us start nesting, helped us wash all of his clothes, helped us put his furniture together. Randall did most of it. I'm putting like his crib together, and we have a day bed in the nursery too. And oh, that blush is powerful. We put our rocking chair together and the stroller. We still have to secure the car seats in the car, but we do have them. And I have packed my hospital bag for the most part. I say for the most part because there are a few things that I needed to wash that I still have to add. And I'm just so grateful that we have community here in Tallahassee that was more than willing to come together, help make our lives a little easier in this final stretch. Because like I said, third trimester, the energy is so low. And my husband has had to work a lot leading up to his parental leave. So having the extra hands has truly been a blessing. Okay, so this is what we got for the face. I'm gonna pop some lashes on in the car and I'm going to finish this after church because I gotta go. Okay, I'm back from church. I thought I had lashes in the car, but I did not. So as you can see, lashes, they never made it today. But I just wanted to wrap my third trimester recap by saying I'm so excited to meet my son. At the same time, it's really bittersweet that I'm gonna have to share him soon and that I won't be able to bump along anymore. Let me show y'all my 39-week bump. This is him. This is the baby at 39 weeks. I'm gonna miss being able to carry him around like this. But yeah, my due date, today is Sunday. My due date is this upcoming Saturday. So we'll see when he comes. I got stuff all over me, y'all. We'll see when he comes. We'll see if he comes early. We'll see if he comes on time. We'll see if he comes a little late. A part of me, like, I don't really want to manipulate it. I want him to come when he wants to come, when he's supposed to come, you know. But we'll see.
Hi, y'all. I love y'all.
Hold on. You don't even know what the video's about.
I'm heading out. It was so great to see you.
No, you don't know what the video is about. So this is about my third trimester recap. So I need you to share how excited you are to meet Jace in just a few days.
I'm so excited. No more pregnant wife. She won't be pregnant no more. So she can help around the house. She can do stuff. She can stand up, sit down. She can put lotion on her own feet. Let me say something. It's the small things. I'm super excited to meet our son. I'm nervous, of course. Never done this before. Never changed diapers. Practice how to swaddle. How to make sure he's nice and warm and wrapped up. Mm-hmm. I'm just praying we go through childbirth just fine. He a big baby. So Glad's got to push.
I do. Got to push him out.
I just got to be there and watch and support.
Moral support.
Mm-hmm. Thank the Lord. It's only moral.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we're ready.
The countdown continues. He's going to be here soon. But yeah, I think that's about it. I will be sure to update you all on my birthing experience, my labor and delivery experience, and I hope I have a good report to come back to y'all with, okay? Okay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Bye.